New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls.
It's more than practical.
Here come the girls.
Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello, you have arrived at Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, yes, yes. Hi, everybody. Dr. Natasha Wilson here, and the lovely
Robyn Rice Olmsted. It's true. That's who we are. Coming to you from two different parts of the world today. I am in Mount Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And I'm in Brisbane, Queensland, and that's in Australia.
And it's hot there.
It's really hot, but I have a fan going, so we're okay.
But you look chilled with your shawl.
Well, because I'm also going through menopause, so which means I get really hot because it is hot, but then I also get cold because I've been sweating and the air conditioner is blowing. So there you go. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is quite the testament, this life journey we are on, which is our topic today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This journey, the journey home, we're going to talk today about spiritual pilgrimage and sacred journeys and see what comes up around that. But before we do all that, we just want to remind you to like us, please. We're very nice. So this show is so funny because the premise of this show is that everything is spiritual, right? And it's all about life happens, and it's spiritual. It just is. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's spiritual. And so it seems like before this show starts, there's always some kind of something that helps you remember just how spiritual you really are, right? I mean, like you've had a big morning already. I ran to get ready for the show, and I ran out, and the dog had pooped on the floor and peed on the floor and eaten my kid's shoe. And I was like, really? Now? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And you just go through it.
Yeah. Right? And you're like, God is somewhere in the mist.
Yeah, I find God when I remember to breathe.
Yeah.
When I don't breathe, I'm in big trouble. Like I can feel it when, I just start to talk. I'm like, oh, shut up. Shut up and breathe. and I was thinking highly about our producer's suggestion that there needs to be more drinking. I'm like, man, I could take one for the team right now with this. Natasha drinks kombucha because it's 7 a.m, 7-ish. And
this morning it's just cold water.
Cold water is good. Anyway, I have melted ice because I didn't get there. I didn't get to fill the glass. I didn't get to do anything. So, how metaphoric is that? Anyway. So if you're watching, we'd love to have you say hello. Let us know where you're watching from and like us. You may know us, you may not. You may know us from this show or from workshops or from any number of things that we've done together or separately. And if you don't know us, stick around and get to know us because we're fun.
We are. Even in the midst of it all.
In the midst of it all.
We are fun.
That's the premise of our show. So there you go. So how's your week been?
Yeah, it's, remember that our, we pulled Celebration last week. And I have to tell you, I have celebrated like in really tiny, small ways, my growths and breakthroughs, but like not in like these big explosive ways, but like in these really, really tiny ways. As you know, I'm going through a separation from my partner. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm finding, it's funny. I was talking to my accountant like a couple of days ago. And at the end of the conversation, he offered his condolences to me, about the separation. And I was like, nobody died. It's okay, it's okay. But the fact that I was just like able to like sort of step out of the sort of zeitgeist around what it means for people to separate was like a small celebration for me, because I think that is a part of my journey right now. Is really like, my life isn't conventional, and and that's okay. So like, like just to be able to do that was like a small sort of growth breakthrough sort of moment for me, because the former me in some ways would have been like, oh, thank you. But I was like, the truth is, nobody died.
Nobody died. And it's so interesting that you say that, though, too, because it makes me think, like somebody said something to me the other day, like something about, about Gil. And they were like, my husband, and they were like, well, don't split up just to have drama. And I thought, would that be drama? On some level. I mean, of course, I'd be sad and there'd be a process and there's all kinds of emotions that go with it. But I don't know about you, but there's another part of me that I think like, I really do believe this thing we say about, people come into your life for a season or a reason or a lifetime. Like there's, if people go, it doesn't mean I'm not sad, but I have to trust on some level that it's part of the journey. You know what I mean? Even if I'm fighting to get them back, or if I'm whatever, I mean, but the process isn't, I don't know, I don't know. I'm somewhere stuck between like how dramatic it was when you were a teenager,
Oh God.
Right? Because then it was like the end of the world, and so like everything I look at, and like when I hear it from our godson, and everything is so dramatic. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand. If I don't have, like, he had to get his mom sent a thing that's not going to get here in time, a beanie. He has to have this beanie for the weekend to go to camp. No, you don't understand. It goes with the fit. I do understand. And nobody knows what was in your closet and that you'll be missing it from your fit.
Nobody died.
Nobody died. Exactly. Exactly. That's going to be a new thing. Nobody died. Yeah. So anyway, we're so happy to have you here. We see a few people joined us. Welcome. And today's topic is going to be pilgrimages and sacred journey. Why do I feel like that's wrong? Pilgrimage. Does pilgrimage not plural itself?
Pilgrimages.
It just sounds funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we're talking about. So if you're new here, you probably know that, I mean, if you don't know, you probably, hello. If you're, let me just take that breath I talked about.
Take it with
Okay.
you.
If you're new here, you don't know that what we do is we pull a card each week to for different reasons. Last week we pulled a card to get our theme of the year. This week we may pull it to just talk about it going into the week. Although I did have an idea, Natasha. I was thinking that this time to pull medicine cards, because I was thinking maybe we need to find our spirit totem animal that's going to guide us through, that's going to walk with us on this celebration journey.
You know, can I tell you something? This is how, like, you know, this is, but we're always finding synchronicities in our relationship, right?
Right.
So you kind of have a sense of what my morning was, because my spouse came over to bring the kids to vacation care this morning, but I was all prepared to like take them myself just in case, you know, he did it or he couldn't come for whatever reason. But he showed up, which is great. But what that meant for me, because he showed up because he wanted to talk. I was like, we can't have a deep conversation right now, right? But that made me run late, and I was like, I could have really brought the kids myself so that I'm not rushing at the end to get ready. But it is what it is. But because of that, I didn't get a chance to really sit down and sort of look at our really beautiful outline, right? But I'd already put on like my earrings, and I said today, I need my spirit animal like, with me, right beside me. And and then when I looked, I was like,
yep. Yeah. That's, you know, that one mind will get you every time. So anyway, so that's my thought. So that's what we can do, but I need you to banter for a minute because I dropped the cards when I opened them. So,
so are they all over the floor?
No, just a few. I just have to grab them.
Okay. All right. Well, look, that's banter enough, to be honest with you.
Tell the people something exciting.
Well, what I will tell the people. So the title for the show today, The Journey Home, is actually the name of my psychotherapy practice, right? And I was like, oh, look at that. More synchronicities. Like, it is all one. It is, right? Because that wasn't what we wrote up as the topic for today. So I would like more synchronicities.
It is, but I also, it's not exactly what we wrote for the topic, but the reason I titled it that was because isn't that what it all is on some level?
It is what it is. And it also just happens to be the name of my business.
Well, I knew that, so I didn't think you would mind.
Oh, I don't mind, but I didn't know. You know what I mean? But I was like, that is what it's all about, ultimately. Even when we talked about this as a topic, that's what it is all about, you know?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So here's the good news. I didn't really drop any animal cards. I dropped angel cards that were mixed in with them because they're not the same size.
Oh.
So I didn't see it.
Okay. See, but the thing is, are just everywhere. They're just spilling out. The angels are all over the floor. They're just all over.
That's right.
We're just covered.
All right. So you pick first. You pick the animal that's going to guide you through this year, along with clearly the horse. I love horses.
So am I supposed to tell you when to stop shuffling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll let you get them back in your hands again.
Okay, here I am shuffling.
All right. And we're breathing, and Robyn is shuffling, and we're centering ourselves.
And we're asking, what animal is walking with Natasha this year?
Oh, yeah. Last year it was the dragon. Okay, nice. Stop.
It's the moose. Wow. I don't think I've ever pulled moose.
All right. I have great moose stories because I lived in Maine.
Moose are kind of cool.
They are. They're like big horses. if you've ever seen them, but like mixed with the deer. It's like a deer mixed with a horse. It's perfect.
Okay, so the moose means self-esteem. Self-esteem. Moose is found in the north of the medicine wheel, as is buffalo. North represents the place of wisdom. Self-esteem is the medicine of moose because it represents the power of recognizing that wisdom has been used in a situation and that recognition or a pat on the back is deserved. So this talks a lot about the wisdom woven through the moose medicine. Yeah, we can dive a little deeper into it as we go.
Yeah.
If you
have you ever seen a moose?
Yeah. I went to when I went to the Grand Canyon, they're all over, and we were in a motorhome. They walk up to the window. They're like, "Hello," at least there. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I've seen them in the wild in Maine, and they are huge. Like they're the size of a horse.
Yeah, or bigger.
Or bigger, or way bigger. So yeah, they're pretty majestic animals. Like
they are, and those antlers are no joke.
No, they're not.
It says if you have chosen the moose card, you have reason to feel good about something you have accomplished on your journey. This may be a habit you have broken, a completion of some sort, an insight on a goal, or a new sense of self that you have fought hard to earn. It is a time of feeling harmonious pride and of recognizing those who aided you in the process. One good exercise in moose medicine is to write down things that you can love about yourself and your progress in life. Then apply these same things to friends, family, coworkers, and life. Don't forget to share the findings with others. They need the encouragement as much as you do. It's a pretty good one for right now.
It is. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
All right. Oh, wow. The cards don't lie.
No, and nor does life.
All right. I'm going to stop right now. Turkey.
Which is what I have a ton of here in Australia. They're always in my yard.
Good. Maybe it means I'm finally coming to visit.
That would be great. So far, only one of my friends have ever come to visit, so that would be awesome.
Yeah, I used to have, when I lived in Oakland, we had turkeys up there. And then one time there was one right in our backyard, because we have a fence and lived right in the ravine, and all of a sudden it flew up. I was like, oh my God, I'd never seen a turkey take lift off and fly because they're big.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Giveaway. Says turkey is actually thought to be the giveaway eagle or south eagle of many native people. The philosophy of giveaway was practiced by many tribes. Simply stated, it is the deep and abiding recognition of the sacrifices of both self and others. People in modern day society, who have many times more than they need, should study the noble turkey who sacrifices itself so that we may live. In turkey's death, we have our life. Honor turkey. Okay.
Okay. I think you should pull it in.
Oh. Wait. Depending on how turkey is aspected in your cards, you are being given a gift. The gift could be spiritual, material, or even intellectual. The gift may be great or small, but it's never insignificant. Congratulations! You may have just won the lottery, or the gift may be a beautiful sunset or the smell of a fragrant flower. On the other hand, you may feel the spirit of giving growing within you and wanting you to share with others. All right.
Well, I'm here for you to win the lottery. I think I'm here for that one.
Yeah, I can work with them all, you know. Such a good it's good to remember those other little things, you know, and stay in gratitude.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about medicine cards. You have to remember not to hate. Because you go, no, but really, like you go, oh, I got an ant. And somebody else is like, I got a swan, or I got, you know, something. But it's all good. It's all good.
You know, the reason I said I think you should pull again, to be perfectly honest, is just because, well, after you read the last part about the sacred gift, I was like, okay, no, it's fine. But I was like, Robyn, you give so much free. Please don't give too much more. Like, that's what I was thinking, you know?
That passed through my mind. I'm like, I got to give more? It also passed through my mind the minute I got turkey, I was like, oh, damn, I haven't eaten chicken for a year now. I let go of chicken. I mean, I didn't eat other meat. I just ate chicken and fish and turkey. And now turkey's the only one I'm like, oh my God, it knows. I have to let it go. We are funny. We are funny people, the way our hands work. All right. Well, we'll work with these for a while. We can check in. We can pull again in another month and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to work with Moose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moose is cool. It's all good. It's all good. I know it's going to show up in good ways. And it is really good to remember, you know, I think I said on the show last week that I had declared this was going to be my best year ever. So I think that that's really good information. I mean, I'm a pretty grateful person, but every now and then I have those moments where I'm like, what the hell? You know, and it's good to remember that I'm lucky to have a teenager in my life, you know, and those little things that you don't always want when they're going on. So, so anyway, on that note, I think it's time we take a break. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and talk about the journey, the pilgrimage. So get your paper and pen so you can start creating yours. And join us right back here on New Thought Media Network after this message.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls.
It's more than practical.
Here come the girls.
Way more than merely factual. If you wanna know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello, we are back right here on New Thought Media Network. We are Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Yes,
I'm Robyn.
and Natasha.
And we are talking today about the journey home, the sacred journey, pilgrimages, the spiritual pilgrimages. When we went over the topics, we told you all we were going to go through the topics last week, and we didn't get a chance to organize our year. However, today what called us was this topic of pilgrimages and journeys. So you want to say a little bit about what called you to it, Natasha?
Well, like honestly, what called me to it is the reality that, so like when I said like, okay, that's the name of my practice, right? The journey home. And what I realized for me is that we're all on that journey. But I have not been engaging in time for contemplation around where I am on the journey and listening to my sacred guides. But I've been tending to other people's journey. And that is, and I love that, and it's beautiful. But I must tend my own garden, right? As well. I must tend to my own journey. And so I have this weekend, my whole plan is to spend the time in solitude because I'm going to be child free this weekend. So, yeah, I'm like, I just need to spend some time in contemplation, really like feeling into and having some deep gratitude about my own spiritual, not just journey, but how I process and move through the world, and really find ways to do exactly what Moose Medicine said, like pat myself on the back. Because yeah, this one has been on a real sacred, very special journey, and I'm ready to remember why it is I decided to embark on it consciously. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's well, it's an interesting topic because when it came up, I thought, it's all a journey, right? We're on this thing called life, and it's a journey. And I think what you were just saying, it reminded me, like hearing you say it, it reminded me how much on this journey we need to be able to acknowledge ourselves, and do all of those things that we look to others for, be able to do that for ourselves on some level, because we like to point, we like to point the finger and say what our parents haven't done or what so-and-so did to us or how, all those things. And I think at the end of the day, part of the question is, can we do it for ourselves?
Yeah.
And can I love myself the way I want to be loved?
Yeah, we must. We must.
Yeah. We must. And do we?
Well, I don't think we always do. But I think there are several reasons for that. And there are several reasons for that for everybody. I also like living here in Australia, like there's, before I became a therapist, a psychotherapist, you know, I was a cultural anthropologist. And I think one of the things that has been really good about having that training as a cultural anthropologist, not to just mention, because it being an anthropologist just works in with my wiring, because I already tend, you know, I think what we know of it as in a family dynamic is there's always like the black sheep in the family, right? Mm-hmm. My brother says I'm the magical unicorn, right? Instead of calling me the black sheep, right? Because I am very different. And so because I've always been really different than the people in my family of origin, I am positioned as an outsider, so I could always figure out what the rules are, even when I wasn't doing it consciously, like what the cultural rules are of my family. And so when it became my profession to try to understand like what things represent or the cultural rules of any given society, it helps in a lot of ways to be able to be an outsider, because I'm not attached, I'm not on the inside, and so I don't take it for granted. And being in Australia, you know, one of the sort of cultural rules that I've observed is that often the notion of loving yourself is seen as egotistical in a really negative way. And so working with my clients here in Australia and introducing like concepts around self-love has been the most challenging that I've ever experienced working with people in the United States, primarily because like it's kind of it's seen as self-indulgent. And so yeah, just working like on a regular basis, like to sort of explain why, even though this is a part of the culture, to not love oneself, just because something's cultural doesn't mean it doesn't need to change, you know?
Right.
And yeah, so when I say we must love ourselves, I really mean that. We must. I feel like it's blasphemy to do otherwise, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there is that reality, and I love that. Yes, it is blasphemy to do otherwise, because if God is, we are, and if we can't, you know, that's where we need to do the looking. But you said something else that I wanted to. That's very interesting about, you know, how loving yourself is seen in Australia, and I was thinking, you know, that takes us really close to. I mean, I think there's a. I should ask you instead if there's. It seems like there's a very short space in between loving yourself and maybe being narcissistic, or, you know, it going to the other extreme in people's minds, not necessarily in, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
People's,
not necessarily, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the lack of loving oneself that leads us into narcissistic behavior. Like it's the lack of loving, because most narcissism is not based on true feelings of like I'm so worthy. Like narcissism is born out of inferiority. It's born out of, you know, so like I feel like the antidote to narcissism really is like deep self-love, because like self-love is like about, you know, coming back to being in love with God ultimately.
Right.
You know, I'm looking at this this book, Rumi's Secret, right? And so, which is all about this rapturous sort of, you know, Rumi's poems are all about like this wild, rapturous relationship with the divine. And at the end of the day, that is us. And so it's really about, you know, remembering the journey home. How do we have these wild, rapturous love relationships with this very thing? this very like extension of the God, right? That is us, you know? So yeah, I almost feel like it's the antidote to narcissism.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And however, I do think that when people, who don't have a psychology basis or whatever, are with a narcissist, they, they perceive it as it's all about them, and it's not so much about the love. I mean, but
Exactly.
but you know what I mean. It somehow equates sometimes to they love themselves more than anybody, but it's not really true. It's the illusion. Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. So I just want to say welcome to John and anyone else who's joined us. Our topic today is about the sacred journey and pilgrimages. And yes, that's how we started talking about love, was the journey, Natasha's journey, and just where we're at. Yeah. So I feel like, when the word pilgrimage too, I just want to get clear that I think pilgrimage and journey are different, right?
Yes.
I mean, obviously they relate, but in the talk about pilgrimage, I was looking at doing some research and just looking at, thinking about all the places that people go to seek that spiritual connection, or to seek that guidance, or to find those answers, or to explore. We all have different reasons why we decide to journey or pilgrimage to a sacred space. Yeah. Would you add anything to? I mean, I think a pilgrimage is when you're, you go searching, you go looking, you go find out more about either your connection with the divine or something within you, connect more to yourself. Is that right? Would you say?
Yeah, actually say the last part again. I want to hear it. I want to hear it with not just my ears beyond the ears. Can you just say it again?
I'm not sure what I said, but what I remember is a pilgrimage is more of a journey to connect with the divine, or to connect with yourself.
That's a pilgrimage.
I think that's my thoughts on that.
So a pilgrimage is the journey we take to connect with the divine.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's always it, but I mean, I think that's, like people who go and walk the Camino in Spain, or they go to Jerusalem, or to the sacred sites, those kind of things.
Yeah. I think
deepening.
Yeah, I think, so when even when I just look at the questions, right, what is a pilgrimage, what is a spiritual journey, I think they sort of, they contain each other, the concepts, right? So like a pilgrimage is a spiritual journey, but I think of a pilgrimage as a spiritual journey that actually has some sort of a destination. Right. I think of a spiritual journey, like a spiritual journey is what a pilgrimage is contained in, but we can be on, like, we're all on a spiritual journey that has no real destination. Like the destination is just becoming more of who and what we are, right? And so the spiritual journey, can it contain a pilgrimage, right? But a spiritual journey to me is a part of realizing that there's no destination. There really is only coming home. And when I say coming home spiritually to the reality of our own divinity and the divinity of all life. So that's how I think about the two concepts. What about, like, I'm wondering if other folks have thoughts.
If you do, please put them in the chat. In the meantime, I'm going to read you just what I have pulled up here. That is, what is a spiritual pilgrimage? A spiritual pilgrimage is a sacred journey, typically on foot, that provides an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, with nature and maybe even with a higher power. Unlike tourists, pilgrims tend to travel for devotional reasons rather than simply taking time away to relax.
Yeah.
Then it says, that said, a pilgrimage doesn't need to have a religious connotation. Thousands of people take part in pilgrimages every year as a way to charge their perspective, commune with others, and search for a deeper meaning in the world around them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I feel like that's exactly what I said, right? So like, a pilgrimage is contained in the concept of a sacred or a spiritual journey, right? Yeah. So that's
right.
exactly.
Yeah. So in a pilgrimage, the ultimate goal isn't necessarily reaching your destination. It's more about the joy of the journey and the uncovering in the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's almost like with the pilgrimage, it's like we're going on the pilgrimage has a sort of destination. Like, and it doesn't, whether that's a physical destination or an internal destination or whatever, right? And it has a somewhat of a sort of like structure to it, right? Like the pilgrimage you mentioned, like pilgrimage to Mecca, pilgrimage to Jerusalem, pilgrimage to the waterfall or the mountain or this tree, right, or whatever. So there's like a sort of destination, but a pilgrimage is about the process of that journey to the destination. And spiritual journey, again, I just think encompasses a pilgrimage, right? Because I think a spiritual journey, there isn't necessarily a destination in a spiritual journey. I feel like spiritual journey is just an ongoing process.
Except the destination is to become closer to spirit on some level, right?
I guess if you conceptualize becoming closer to spirit as a destination. So I guess that's why I said, like, I think it's like a spiritual journey is about the ever unfolding of one's own divinity. And and by divinity, I mean God. And so, which is like every time that is a form of coming home, but it's not a journey that necessarily has an end to it. Right. Like,
which is exactly why I picked the title of the journey home, because when, even though there's no end to it, there's, there may become a time when you feel settled in that, and that's your home, that's your home base. Yeah. So going back to the topic, going back to the self-love discussion we were having. So, how would you say, or what would be your thoughts on a journey to more self-love? Like what would one do? Where would one begin?
Well, I think honestly, I'm sorry, I'm gonna think when I hear the question, I'm taking it in, and I feel like how we begin is by becoming aware of where we are. So I would like just take a deep inventory of where you are with the journey of self-love, right? And I always say, if you don't know what that looks like or feels like, like think of who you love, right? Or what you love. And then like take that same energy and direct it towards you and see where it lands. If it can't find a home, like that love that you like believe you give to others, if it can't land in you anywhere, or depending on where it does, I feel like that's where we begin, is by becoming aware of where we are in that journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that, so much, I feel like so much in New Thought, like when we talk about it, that's the work, right? Is breathing and figuring out, and on some level, defining your purpose, right? I mean, you may not have, may not be your big overarching purpose, but in that moment, where you want to go, defining your on some level, or what you feel is either a missing, or where you want to deepen, or I don't know, undertaking. Is it spiritual growth, or is it personal reflection, or you know,
Yeah.
whatever's coming up around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I have so many things moving through my awareness right now, but absolutely. Yeah.
Something that you should share? Please share.
Well, I was just thinking, oh, can we read this? Yeah.
John says, I'm using labyrinth walking as a way to take a pilgrimage to my heart and soul. Every time I walk it, there are certified spiritual labyrinth guides, even.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this thought because, like, this. Not, I don't use the labyrinth. I have walked labyrinths before and guided people on labyrinth journeys. But I think about, so I do heart math a lot, and I use those techniques with my clients, and like they love watching the process of coming into heart brain coherence, like being able to see it happen and match that feeling. And so I feel like every time I sit and even do a heart math session, right, which is like bringing my mind into alignment with my heart and having my heart lead the process, right, and create and like feeling that coherence, I feel like that every time I do that, that's actually like it's a pilgrimage to my heart, right? So yeah, thank you for sharing that, John. It's a really, really beautiful reminder and insight.
Yeah, and listening to both of you, it's like I feel like our journey needs to include mini pilgrimages, right? I mean, it's a different way. It's not like the big journey to Mecca, but it's those are if we can take that time and that space to really identify and connect with our heart, that gives clarity for the journey ahead.
Yeah. I don't know why I just had this funny thought. Anyways, yeah. I was thinking about my website. Maybe, because I think our producer just put the Heart Math website up, which I think is a great resource. I was thinking about my Australian website for my practice, because my practice in Australia is actually called The Journey Home Global. And I've had people go to my website, and on that website, it's this image of me. I'm sort of like in this having this joyous laugh, and I'm in this full outfit, and it's all butterflies. The whole outfit is a butterfly, right? And I'm just having this joyous laugh, and it's just so funny. Like the feedback that I get from my Australian clients is like, if we were to I literally had someone said if you walk around being that happy, they're gonna think you're crazy. Yeah. When I'm left to my own devices, I kind of do. I'm just kind of like a really happy person when I'm left in solitude. That's my baseline. So, but the thought that such joyfulness of being can be read in our world as
there you are.
Oh, there it is. And I'm in all butterfly, right? Everything is in butterfly. And I won't change it, right? Because I've gotten feedback maybe a be in a meditation thing, or maybe put a picture of someone else. I'm like, why would I put a picture of someone else on my own practice? Does anybody ask Oprah to do that for her magazine? Also, why this is meditation, being so joyful. That is a meditation. So
well, and that's a whole nother question, because honestly, when you said that, I was thinking, Yeah, we pretty much think that about anybody who's happy all the time, or like if you're happy all the time, people are like, "What's wrong? What's up with you?" I'm like, nothing. I'm happy.
Yeah.
you know,
And
and
don't worry, I get sad, right? I'll be sad again. Don't worry. But my baseline is happy.
yeah, and that's so good to remember because I think the world has been conditioned now not to be too happy, and yet their goal is to be happy. But that's kind of crazy making, right?
It is.
What? Yeah. What? Huh. Well,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was thinking about a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday, I don't know if his birthday's passed, but the celebration for his birthday is coming up on the same day as the presidential inauguration in the United States. So, but he said I'm going to get it wrong, but it's something to the extent, it is something about don't get adapted to a maladaptive society, right? Like it's not a sign of wellness to be well adapted to a maladaptive society. So I know that's not how he said it, but yeah. So
Yeah.
this is my baseline.
Yeah. So yeah. So be yourself, especially if you're happy. The world needs you to be happy. And
now more than ever, right?
Now more than ever. And on that note, it is time for us to take another journey. Take a journey into the next realm of the week. This was a quick one. This one went fast.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think, Robyn, because when we're having fun, that's what happens. Time flies. So
It's true.
Yeah.
John says, this show is lighting me up. Well, that's great. I hope this show lights everyone up, and I hope that everyone, thinks about the journey they're on. And conscious creation is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that quote, and I just hope everyone will remember really that the essence of those words were, just be you. It's okay to be happy. Don't adapt to society when you know it's not right. It's not the way it should be. And I say that too because those of you listening and joining and hearing this at any given time from a recording, there is a consciousness that we carry out into the world. And I believe that it's our mandate to be happy, to be loved, to share what we know. And if you're drawn here, or if you're feeling this, you know what I'm talking about, And so
we can't light the world any other way.
That's right.
That was our mandate from Christ. Yeah.
That's right. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. We'll be doing it all year long. So come back next week, and whatever time zone you're in, we hope to see you here. So
love you, Robyn.
Love you too.
Okay.
See you next week. Thank you, John. Bye.
Bye.
Love everybody.
I should do it like my kids do. Bye.